me.
Hello. Welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours. Hello, family. You are on time and prompt. My mom is on vacation. Hoping she has the best time on her vacation. I'm going to check the audio, and then we're going to be off the races. I have mildly a lot to talk about, but not as much as last week, so that's blessed. Welcome to Office Hours with Amber. Audio's good. We're awake. We're alive. We're here. Thank you so much, Jody. We are drinking Night Shift Energy because I'm a little tired. Blessed. Now, you might see from the name of this video that I've lost my mind a little bit. I'm exploring today the concept of avoiding avoidance. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more here in a sec. But essentially, in the past month, since I've openly admitted to the universe and myself, hey, I think I have quite the large financial problem. This problem in my sights is big. And once I grappled with the mild amounts of shame and embarrassment that I was holding on to, by being able to sit with it and open the door to accept it, it opened the door also for my community to support me. And I wrote a little note the other day, and here it goes. But I encourage, if you have been contemplating talking about a problem, or if you've been trying to be strong about something, or if you feel embarrassed or shame or whatever, you're actually robbing, like by keeping it to yourself, you're robbing your community of the opportunity to support you. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love helping a friend, especially with I'm never expecting anything in return when I help friends. I feel like I got to show up and be a friend. And so now, this is not me trying to convince myself to mooch off my friends. That's not what this is. More so, it's more of because I can visualize it this way, it's helping me sit more in my gratitude about my community because I observe how much they're stepping up in big and small ways. And so, here's the note I wrote. So I asked the universe, and this is how I talk to myself in my notes. So whatever. I asked the universe for support. And when you think you ask the universe for support, you're thinking, oh, it's just going to drop $1 million into my lap and it's just going to fix it. It's like, no, the universe sends you people and things and signs and stuff. Not going to be too woo-woo today, but, we'll get there. Anyways, the universe sent me my family, as you see them in the chat. My family, I can call at any time that I have even a whisper of a bad day. It sent me a full day to catch up and co-work with my friend Don. It delivered me the functionally perfect movie, The Odyssey. Man, we got to talk about that. I'll have to do that on the Amjamper channel. It sent me Faye and Eric to body double on the weekend and pushed towards our goals together while having a laugh. The universe sent me my friend Sam, who makes time for the whimsy of life and makes me slow down sometimes to also take advantage of the whimsy, including the Hillary Duff concert. What's up? That really lifted some spirits. I think we paid for that like many months ago, so I'm now benefiting from my financial fluctuation back then. The universe sent me a psych that is helping me work through the right medications to help with the depression, which we're on Zoloft now. Hell yeah. The universe sent me a therapist that doesn't give up on me, even though I intellectualize everything and I'm very difficult to talk to. Not talk to, but I'm very difficult to advise because I'm picky. And especially, the universe sent me the Lloyd family, and they sent me money so that my teeth do not rot out of my head. So you might see my tip goal today is $400, and that's all that's remaining to fundraise for my upcoming fillings. That nearly took me out. You can watch my TikTok if you want to see what that's about. But truly, they just Venmo'd me money. And I had to really sit in, and I'll get to that in a sec. The universe sent me my friend Maddie, who cooked for me and sent me home with leftovers. It sent me Laura, who knew I was having a bad day. She brought over some food that I could cook whenever. I've got so many people in my corner rooting for me in big and small ways. And when people continue to show up and show support and like not always be able to fix the entire problem, but at least be like, hey, that sucks, but I'm here with you and I support you. Um, there's a today we're going to talk about a lot of beliefs, and we're going to kind of dive into my beliefs around money. And so what I did last week is I kind of set everything up to be able to do the sticky note exercise, which I did. I completed the sticky notes and I categorized them, and one of the biggest things that came out of it was this theme of avoidance. And I always kind of thought I was more of like I don't avoid things. Like maybe I knew like I avoided some tasks, but I didn't realize how many emotions I avoid. I avoid like I'm pretty good at being uncomfortable, but I had never noticed how much I do to avoid certain kinds of discomfort. And I think that's human. That's very human. But because I'm so hyperlogical, because I can convince myself into anything or, out of anything, or I can convince most people into most things. Like I'm just so hyperlogical. I believe myself a lot. But that works against you if you're like if I believe I'm too busy to get things done, I'm going to be too busy to get things done. So it's its own brand of avoidance. And I'm like, ew. So anyways, what I realize is I avoid the discomfort of needing things from people or needing support or feeling like I don't have my things have it all together. And it's like, ew. By opening the door for your community to show up. And all of this is like I'm talking in circles, but really it just took a few people to just show me care in like a few ways, and I'm like, "Oh, you could do anything." Anyways, this makes no sense. But today I'm exploring the idea of avoidance. But I need to start by tackling one of my biggest things that I avoid. And if I don't give people ways to support me, how can they? So what I avoid is trying to even ask for support. So I wrote these down so that I cannot not say them. But anyways, if you are ever wondering, what are the easiest and best ways to support Amber, Peachy Profitability, Officers of the Amber, all the energies I'm going towards, there's 3 primary ways that are the easiest ways to support. 1, let me work for you. Let me do projects. Let me be a coach. Let me help you through your ADHD. Let me do work for you. That's my favorite kind of support. Now, sometimes you won't have the budget and sometimes you won't have the specific problem. If you feel like there's something that you wish worked a little better or you feel like could be done a different way, I probably have the answer. So in the bio there's a link to do a 15-minute intro call, and you get to come to me with all of the pain points and say, "I just think this thing is so sticky and just doesn't work right." Or I've been really trying to do this thing and it's just something's clunky. You can come to me with you can just complain at me for 15 minutes and I, by the end, will probably have something for you. And then we could talk about options after. So that's number 1 is let me work for you. That's what my favorite way to support it's counterintuitive, but the best way to support me is to let me support you and then, pay me for my support. But that's number 1. Number 2 is tell a friend to tell a friend. Because you might not have a project that you need done, but you might have a friend that's fist fighting with an Excel sheet crying at 3 in the morning and they don't know I exist. So if you share this link or share this video, share any of your favorite Officers of the Amber clips, my Instagram, my email, whatever, you can just kind of bat signal me out there and I will take it from there. But share this channel, share the video, whatever. That's a really easy free way to support me. And then 3, back to paid way, is in the link in my bio. There's a bit.ly link that will take you to all of my links, but there is a link to tip your streamer. That's me. So if you like what I do here, you got $5 to spare, you want to buy me a coffee, that is an excellent way to support me. Every little bit counts, literally, truly. I mean, you see in the last few weeks, I've been analyzing down to the dollar. So in this effort that I'm going forward with, that I'm going to I'm going to avoiding telling people how they can support me, because that's the easiest way to get support, is to tell people how to do it. Now, other situations is obviously if you'd like to co-work, body double, that's also fantastic. But regardless, that's the beginning of that. And I am so grateful for anyone in my community and my family that continue to support me, even though I'm kind of a dickhead sometimes. But I'm working on it. But anyways, so last week we talked in this series as we develop the Amber operating system. I like the idea of owner's manual because it's cute. You could print it off, but operating system just makes it's everywhere. I like the way it sounds. AOS. Amber operating system. So that's what I'm going to be leaning into, and that's the kind of mega Excel sheet that I'm building with all of the different tabs that help me do different things at different times to do whatever. It's going to help me organize and optimize my life. Yeah, something like that. The journey that I've been on for the last few weeks is trying to, okay, phone silent, trying to develop a root cause analysis of Goldilocks, and we're doing okay. The problem is I have $40,000 on my credit cards. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't quit your day job, Toots. Yikes. Tough. It's tough looks. But the more you say your problem out loud, the smaller it gets in terms of the magnitude of this monster, you know? So with $40,000 on my credit card, I've got two options. I can either roll over and die, or I can do something about it. And I'm doing something about it. So the past few weeks I've been exploring how did we behaviorally get into this position? What do I spend my money on? What am I like? What routine do I need, etc. So I've been doing this kind of systemic analysis to really wrap my arms around the entire problem. And that has kind of resulted in three categories, or kind of a three-phase approach. One, we need to decrease the amount of new spend that's happening. Two, we need to decrease the amount of bleed that's ballooning on the interest on the debt. And then three, we need to increase our income. Not in that order, but those are the three primary categories. Now, right now, in order to understand how much income I really need, I need to know what my baseline spend is. So that's why I've been doing so much analysis on my spend, so that I can find out, what do I truly need specifically, that word, not want, need, to be able to budget for. And like at minimum, what do I need to be making a month? And then I can shoot for 20%, 50% above that, so that I can go back to being a full human, because right now we are in triage mode. So the least interesting of this is like how to manage like the ballooning interest, because that's kind of just all financial mechanisms of like loan transfer balances, like transfer balance credit cards, and or like 0% interest transfer balances and personal loans and 401k and all that stuff. That's the least interesting thing, because those are just band-aids on top of the real problem, which is how did we spend this much, or how did we not make this much? So I digress. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm going to be continuing, now that I've categorized, and I'm going to show you. I translated all of my sticky notes that I originally had up on the wall, which also avoidance, so cute. I translated all the sticky notes that I had on my wall, and I just blurted out every symptom of every pain of everything. I put that all into this Excel sheet, which I'm about to show you. And then I categorized. I did use AI just a little bit. I wanted to be like, okay, I know what kind of categories I'm thinking, but I dumped it into Claude and I said, how would you categorize this into like 5 or 6 buckets? And it gave me a few that already were kind of reaffirming what I liked. And so they kind of came into a like the categories that they came into is, traditionally with a fishbone Ishikawa diagram, it's like man, method, machine, mother nature, measurement, material. Love that. I'm a girl. I'm a human. I like having my own categories. And realistically, they just want you to subcategorize your problem and then focus your efforts in one area based on how many there are. Now, my categories came out to beliefs, routine, structural traps, triggering environments, and income. Those are the 5 primary categories of how this debt situation happened. So from there, I have 5 different questions, or 5 different potential root cause areas that I'd like to explore. And from the root causes of those, I'm going to start to propose some solutions. I also suggest doing this over again with your anti-problem. So when are times that I've saved a lot of money? When are times that I've made a lot of money? And so repeating this the other way to see before you completely make solutions, you want to look at both. But today I'm going to be looking into the problem and some of the root causes. So without further ado, let's do it. So she looks a little crazy. Let's just maybe create a little bit more room. Okay, so to reiterate, what are we trying to solve? Why do I spend so much money? And this is, beep. Why do I spend so much money? How did I get here? And that's where I did this big sticky note exercise on my wall. That all got translated here. And then I have my categories. If you want a link to this document, let me know and I'll send you it because I think it's nice. Anyways, I did update it. If you received this document at the conference in December, I have made updates to it because now it auto links to the headers. And so if I change this, so like if I change this to beliefs, it will add it to the beliefs section. So you don't have to move it around because I was getting real fussy with that. But I digress. Okay. So what I found with these potential root cause areas is the beliefs, or rather, I'm going to start at the end and then go backwards. So structural traps, this is things like, it's a write-off, or credit cards that incentivize travel points and behavior. Well, I'm already, like, my triggered environment is bars, like drinking, and travel. And so if I used to have this, like, the Capital One travel venture card because it would give me travel points. So when I traveled, that I could just get free hotels. And I'm like, Amber, why would we want to incentivize the same behavior that triggers more spend? That is a mechanism that they set up for people like me right now. When I had a salary, I would pay it in full each month. So it was just a really good benefit. But I can't keep operating as if I have I have to change the behaviors that I built, the habits that I built when I had a salary. It only took me 3 years to figure it out. It's fine. We're past it. But anyways, credit cards have high APR. Anyways, the thing about structural traps is I just need to understand them, write them down, put a face to who benefits from these systems. Because it ain't me. Now, there's a younger version of me that did benefit from those systems, but she doesn't anymore. And that's okay to admit. Routine. This is where I need to believe in what I'm reviewing, build the right visual for the right metric, and put it on the calendar and just do it. The problem I think a lot of people run into, especially with myself, is that with routine, I think, okay, well, if someone says that I should walk 10,000 steps a day, then I should just do that. It's like, well, what's the tangible benefit between 8,000 and 10,000? Can you describe the difference? The tangible that like if I don't believe in the thing I'm doing and the benefit it provides me, long term, short term, whatever, delayed gratification, like if I don't believe in it, I likely won't do it. So that's where by doing this exercise, I'm creating the foundational data and evidence to get myself to believe in what I'm doing. And I had been avoiding it so much because I was like, and I was trying to come up with a reason, like, why am I avoiding this? I know on the other end of this, I'm going to feel great because I'm going to know exactly what kind of input behaviors I want. So I was very confused why I was avoiding it, but we're in the habit of avoiding avoidance. And I've been feeling really good about rebuilding trust with myself. So each day I've been putting in something that I've built trust with. So whenever I accept imperfection, or I do something like that, I take a step towards something that I want to do without putting it off. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Anyways, that's off topic. But I have to believe in the routine, and I have to believe in what I'm reviewing in that routine. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. So beliefs, I need to face them. I need to find the root of these beliefs. I need to question it. And if it is valid or invalid, I need to develop and change it, because there's a lot of beliefs that I hold in my heart that aren't true anymore. And I haven't had to face them in so long that they're just sitting in there lurking. So I don't even know if I believe my beliefs, or I should believe my beliefs, because there's So I'm here to question those. With income, I need to get hungry, I need to get smart, and then this is kind of like a subcomponent of belief and routine. And so we'll get more into it, but I need to believe the prospecting activities that I'm doing will warrant a benefit, and I need to do them routinely, because if I don't believe them, like if someone says cold call 100 emails, or do 100 cold calls a day, after the first 100 I'm gonna be like, I don't think this works, and I'm okay. So I need to find belief in it, or create evidence to believe it. And triggering environments, I need to avoid them at all costs until I can work through the root beliefs and behaviors in those environments. Um, and that was dun dun dun. When I went to the Hillary Duff concert yesterday, I let myself down a little bit and I spent a little bit more money than I wanted to, but I did assess the emotional profitability of each purchase as I was making it. This shirt, I'm going to wear this a million times. So I girl my math my way out of that. And it was emotionally profitable for me to spend $45 on a shirt. Hey, but in terms of drinks, at one point, there was one drink that I was like, okay, like as I was drinking it, I was like, I don't need any more. That was it. I'm good. So I am starting to question the behaviors as I'm in these triggering environments, which is good, because avoiding them forever is not going to work, but at least limiting my exposure until I get the financials figured out. I've limited it as far as I can go, and I'm continuing to be vigilant, which I'm really proud of myself for. So anyways, okay. So this is what I have in mind. Up. We have all that. Now, we go into, I'm going to say top 5. Traditionally, I would only do 3 root causes, but because this is such a multifaceted problem, that's where I want to dive deeper into some of the other components, and that's why there's 5 here. So we're going to go through and do the 5 whys, and then after that, if there's time, I want to do a solution brainstorm. Basically, what input behaviors from these root causes are going to warrant a favorable output metric that can be measured. But yeah. Also, the bummer about the tips is that I don't actually have $100 in tips today, which is a bummer because it was supposed to show like session tips, so I'm actually at $0, but that's okay. It's showing the lifetime tips right now. But regardless. I'll have to fix that later. Okay, anyways, let's dive in. So the top 5 things that I think will warrant the most bang for the buck is from beliefs. Why do I lack respect for my own financial well-being and stability? 2, why do I feel so much discomfort around splitting bills with people? Triggering environments. Why do I perceive I'm allowed to spend wildly while I'm out? Income. Why do I struggle to land project clients? And routine. Why is it so difficult to stick to a budget? So I think the most impactful ones are going to be these 2, because if I can really get to the bones of why I don't have the internal, I don't know, monologue or respect feature in my brain to like take my stability to be primary, like a priority. Like it's always in the back of my mind, but like if someone else was struggling, I would help them before I would ever help myself. So it's like, why aren't we putting our air mask on first for self? This whole experience is me doing that, but it's weird. It is a weird concept of like in the day to day, even like, why am I so willing to just throw my money towards people? Which, it's not like a horrific, like it's not a crime to be caring, but a strength. This is a Lynn Cook quote. She said, a strength overutilized can become a weakness. And on my strengths assessment, I think kindness is one of the top ones. And like kindness or generosity or something. And so, yeah, generosity overutilized can become, self, not leaving enough in the tank for self. So anyways, now this next part is going to be a lot of me thinking, and it might be boring, but I gotta do it sometime. So the time is now. I think I might find music though. Let's find some music. Let's do Todd Baker. Todd Baker has either composed or made a lot of the music that's on the Monument Valley soundtracks. And there's a song, Power of Two, and I love it so much. I messaged him on Instagram, and I'm trying to use it appropriately, but for now, I wonder if you can hear that. I think it's got... I usually do my Excel esports cases to this, which maybe that'll get like the mind jostled enough. Let me know if you can hear it or if it's too loud or too quiet. All right, let's do it. It's almost too anxious for the moment. Now, another thing is I'm probably going to take what I do today and I'm going to do the analysis again with Claude, just to see if it can pick up some blind spots that I'm missing, because I innately have a lot of bias because I am me and I am, again, a hyper avoider. Like, I am masterful. I can logic my way out of anything. So I'm hoping that I put that down, but I'm going to rerun this with Claude at some point to see how different the answers come out and hopefully bring back some answers next week. But let's do it. Okay. Why do I lack the respect of my own financial well-being? Now, there's two paths this can go down. It can go into... There's pest and there's zest. There's the zest that says, we always land on our feet, why would we worry about it? But then there's pest that says, well, who cares? And I'm really trying to stay in an honest place to I'm just gonna do it. I kind of want to make this smaller over here. And then maybe this. And then I'll make this skinnier. Let's make these smaller. Oops. Okay. It's like, if this was true, then we wouldn't be in this situation. The things in my head are like cycling through, I care about people not feeling like their back's against the wall. I always sort my shit out, so that's why I'm okay to carry more discomfort. I've never heard this song before. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. A little loud in the ears. Okay. Why do I lack I can't believe we're like right out the starting gate. I'm like, I asked an unanswerable question. Which anyone who's ever done a 5 why ever does get to an unanswerable question. They're like, fuck, okay. Why do I lack respect? I traditionally care more about other people's I traditionally care about other people's care and comfort more than my own. Why do you care more about other people's than your own? Ooh, this is gonna get shitty really fast. I possess problem-solving skills that others sometimes don't. Okay. I possess problem-solving skills that other people don't, so I feel like if I don't help, they might not figure it out, or they might have to sit in that discomfort for much longer than necessary. Why do you care how long someone... Why can't... So sometimes your why questions can steer the ship. Like if you ask a stupid why question... It's not always as straightforward as people say it is, but why can't you sit in the why can't you sit by when others are uncomfortable? Uh-oh. This could go 3 ways. This is either going to go in the way of... Nope, Amber, stay in it. Don't explain your way out. Just do it. Okay, just do it, just do it, just do it. Exactly. Why do you feel the need to fix people's comfort? And I think I don't know where this started, and when we get through the rest of the 5 why, it's gonna get there. But I feel like it's my responsibility to manage the vibes, emotions, and discomforts of those around me. And anecdotally, okay, we're just gonna keep going. Why do you feel the need to manage the vibes? So I had a manager that was not wrong to say this to me, and I do know what he means now, but I have frequently been told that my energy is, I wouldn't say infectious, it just seeps out. My energy is this kind of big old cloud around me. Like sometimes it's like this radiant, beautiful thing, but sometimes it's like dark and stormy. So if I'm happy, everybody's happy. If I'm mad, everyone is like absorbing. I don't know how to describe why my energy does this, but I can ruin a vibe fast. So when I get upset, I try to just remove myself because I know I can't manage it seeping out. Like, I'm just like, sorry, like it's just like poisonous almost. And so when he told me this, it was more of him saying like, as a perspective, like he was trying to get me to be more leaderly and managerially. And he was like, and step into this kind of new executive presence. He was like, just, you're allowed to have emotions, but be aware that the people around you observe the way you move, and the way you look, and the way you sound, and the tone you use, and all this stuff. Because at that point, I was really frustrated, and I was making it everyone's problem. And this was like probably 5 years ago. And so at that point, that was such an impactful thing because I noticed the evidence was all around me. But somewhere along the lines, I confused that with responsibility. It's like, no, it's something to be cautious, like careful with, to not poison everyone. But it's not a responsibility to put my energy on 10 so that someone who's at a 0 can come to 5. But when you see the power you have in being able to improve someone's life or day or mood or something, it is a little... Okay, we're back. Okay. My energy is infectious. Thanks, Mom. Okay. What's the why from that? Because what we've come from this is... Ooh. The responsibility... The responsibility... My responsibility is to manage my impact on others, not manage others through my impact. Oh, I knew it was in there. We just had to get it through it. So, and sometimes there might be 6 more whys, because we could go to like, well, yeah, but sometimes you get to the answer before the 5th why. So what we can do, so from that, so basically with that why, with that answer, we can take that when we do solution development. That's where we can say, okay, what are habits we can monitor, or what are things in our life we can monitor to make sure I'm managing my impact, not the emotions of others. Don't know yet. We're going to move on to the next one because I think that's a really good stopping place for that one specifically. But I'm happy about that. I think this is impactful. My responsibility is to manage my impact on others, not manage others through my impact. Now, is there a different time and place where managing others through my impact is a weapon of choice? You didn't hear it from me. Okay, so this started... Okay, let's rewind. Why do I lack respect for my own financial well-being? And we ended with that. Okay? So we might be able to repeat that one because we kind of crossed a few hairs here, but whatever. Okay. Why do we feel so much discomfort around splitting bills? Okay, we got this. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so excited we're doing this. Okay, can you see everything? Okay. Why do I feel so much discomfort around splitting bills? One, negligence of the wait staff to put it in correctly frustrates me, and my time is being wasted because of their lack of organization. Now, get me fucking straight on this. If you have an 8 top and y'all keep switching seats, that's your own fucking problem. That's rude. I've been a server plenty before. I was a bartender. I've done it. I've seen it. I've been through it. Plenty. But there is a system you can have of numbering even if, let's say for instance, you're like, okay, if you guys are going to be moving around, I'm giving you a number. You are number 1. So when I go through and when I go to put something in like if you're managing a party, you can just give people numbers. It's a fun game. You can create a little shared accountability, and then they're going to love that at the end they're paying exactly what they bought, especially if it's a big party. But if you're at a 4 top, didn't move, everyone got like a drink and a food, and then you fuck up the bill, or you didn't split it, or let alone if your point of sale system as a restaurant doesn't have the option to split the bill, that's fucked up. That makes me mad. But I digress. That's what gets me mad when I'm sitting there and I'm like, why? Sitting through the discomfort of someone else's negligence, I'm like, I will pay to leave this thing. But that is like what? Looking into double click, Amber, why is that such a just nails on a chalkboard experience for you? Why is it that deep? How about we question the beliefs underneath it? Like, why are you so upset? Oh, my heart just figured out the answer, but I don't. I think. Oh, okay. We're gonna get through it on here. Let's just do it. Okay. There's 2 paths, and I'm gonna follow path 2, but I am gonna tell you about path 1, and I'm gonna document that separately. Okay, so let's talk about these. Okay, so the negligence of the wait staff to put it in correctly frustrates me, and my time being wasted because of their lack of organization sucks. 2, penny pinching with friends feels like a waste of time because there's always going to be another drink, another dinner, like karmically, like it's all going to settle out unless you're always paying for it, which in that circumstance, the friends I surround myself with, oh, I just realized that the music has changed vibes. One sec. Let's see. Stream kitty. Karmically, there's always going to be another round. So it's like, I got this one, you get the next one. It's never too imbalanced in terms of our lifetime, you know? And so that's where I don't like to penny pinch friends, because it kind of puts off the idea to me that it's like, oh, I don't plan. It's like a micro. We'll continue that one. Okay, let me get. Okay, we've got Stream Kitty. Okay, we're back. Okay. So that balances out, and then additionally, it's a kind gesture to treat friends to lunch. whatever. Now, the thing about the waitstaff, I think what happens here, and it's not, I will document this, but in my lifetime, if I ever miscapitalized a word in a PowerPoint, if I ever sent the data with an incorrect formula, if I ever made even the teeniest of mistakes, I get fucking raked to the coals. There's been so much of my life that I've not been perceivably allowed to make mistakes. Now, is that an unhealed perfectionism in self that is now spidering out into all these other areas of my life? Maybe. And so when I perceive, it's different if there's a super busy restaurant and, honestly, sometimes just to decrease the burden on the other person, again, the discomfort thing. It's when the server's super busy and they're slammed and they mess up the bill, hey, no worries. Let's pay it and then we'll Venmo and figure it out ourselves. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's more of even when it's a one-on-one lunch, I often am the one to just throw a card down because, and I'm going to have to look further into this, but the waitstaff one is just it's because I've been held, I just figured it out. Hurt people. No. I've been kicked in the head so many times for getting things wrong that when my waitstaff gets it wrong in what is generally pretty easy requests, I'm not making huge modifications or anything. That is why I am perpetuating. It's weird because I'm not putting the same damage on these people that has been done to me, but I'm actually self-inflicting the damage of people making mistakes, and I'm still taking accountability of others' mistakes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oof. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's the real root cause, but I'm going to document that anyway. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to put that over here. Hurt people instead of perpetuating the harm that people have done to me for making mistakes in the past. I financially absorb the mistake to avoid making that person feel bad. Ew. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, root cause analysis sometimes hurts, guys. Sorry about it. That was deep, Mom. I'm proud we're doing this. I knew this was gonna be this way, but holy shit. Okay, let's take a step backwards. Why do I feel so much discomfort splitting bills? I'm gonna lean into the friend side because that's really more of it. Man, anybody need a cigarette? That was too much. Oh my god. Okay. Why? Why does it feel like I'm being rude to ask to split the bill? Because that's really what I'm getting here, is I feel like it's rude to my friends to think that there's not a future where we get something. It feels like it's kind to treat them to lunch, but why is it rude to not treat them to lunch? So I'm trying to take those bones out of here. Oops. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, we're too zoomed in. Why does it feel rude to ask to split the bill? Why does it feel rude? Maybe okay, this is silly, but maybe I just have to question that belief of for anyone questioning or like wanting to do ooh, that's a good idea, Mom. I'm pinning that in my brain and I'll be right back to it. Sometimes if you're questioning if you want to do some root cause analysis, sometimes the answer to this is just questioning the thought and just sitting with it and being like, oh yeah, why did I think that? There doesn't have to be like a further thing. You can just say, oh, I don't think that belief makes sense anymore, and I want to put in a new belief. That's an okay thing. Okay, so Mom, you said part of it is our fault for saying if you invite, you pay. So like, no, I don't think that you traditionally taught us that. I think you just, like in our house, you always just showed that, you know, a way to show care for someone is to pay for lunch or take them out to lunch. It's not like I guess it's different if it's like inviting someone to somewhere that is so outside of a budget range where it's unreasonable to pay for yourself. Like if it was like a date or something, like if you invite someone that way, but this is like the day-to-day. So it's like you taught us kindness to take care of people. That is not a sorry situation, but okay. Anyways, why does it feel rude to ask to split the bill? Subliminally it is there. Paying for someone equals care. The opposite feels like not caring. Why do I think okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I feel like I don't have a lot of time or other ways to show care for people. So I, like a deadbeat dad, try to pay to show my love. I've said that a few times. Oh. Why don't I think I care for my community in other ways? Why don't I show care for my community in other ways? Okay, here we go. Okay, why don't I show care for my community in other ways? I think I don't realize all the micro ways that I show care through wisdom, storytelling, education, mildly showing up to events, humility. I think I have an answer here too. I think I need to come up with other ways to show care for my friends and family that is not financial, to supplement that feeling, to replace it with something that I feel correct about. Investigate ways I can, I got it. Show care for, I can show care for others in a non-financial way. Make a list of ways I show care on a menu to pick from and do routinely. Yes. I knew it was in there. Like I started this whole thing with, is my community has shown me so much care in non-financial ways. Some financial ways that are great, but non-financial ways. What a nice bookend. Well, guys, that's been Office Hours with Amber. I do have a meeting starting at 8 p.m. So I'm going to be jumping off a few minutes early. But what a delicious episode. I'm so happy that we actually did the 5 whys. I think I'm going to continue this next week and do more of the solution development, like carry the ball forward and kind of keep going with this. But I'm so glad that by actually sitting with the whys, by actually asking good questions, by actually leaning into something other than, well, I'm just this way. Well, I just believe this. Well, that's fucking dumb. So I'm so glad that we did this together. So, Mom, thank you so much for your assistance. That was very helpful. I'm really excited. And honestly, this like moments of the positive momentum gets the fire moving so much faster. So, okay. I'm going to hop off, but I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope to see you next week on Office Hours with Amber, where we'll continue doing this.